Good afternoon, baseball fans. You are tuning in to Houston Astros Network, and we are here at Citi Field, home of the New York Mets, as the 83-78 New York Mets host the visiting Houston Astros, who are 86-75 in the season. This is game 162, the last game of the season, as the Houston Astros enter this one in a three-way tie with the Angels and the Red Sox for the wild card spot. So this is a very important ball game for the Houston Astros. Well, let's take a look at the lineup that manager Bo Porter has assembled for his Houston Astros ball club. Leading things off, playing second base is Jose Altuve. Batting second and playing center is Dexter Fowler. Batting third and playing first, Kendrys Morales. And playing left field today is the cleanup hitter, Chris Carter, to have his bat in the lineup. He's playing left field. And on the mound today for the Mets is Zach Wheeler, the young right-hander. 8-9 on the season with a 4.57 ERA in 32 games started. 187 innings with 160 strikeouts on the season. Not too bad of a stat line right there. And we've got 2 outs in the inning right now for Kendrys Morales. 0-0 count on him. Here's the pitch from Wheeler as Morales pops this one up to the shortstop. That's in shallow outfield. That is going to be a 3-pitch inning for Zach Wheeler on the top of the first. Now we flip things around the bottom half of the first as we take a look at the Mets lineup assembled by manager Terry Collins. Leading things off in left field is EYJ. Batting second, also playing second, is the hot bat of Daniel Murphy. Batting third and playing third is David Wright. And in the cleanup spot is the Grandy Man. On the mound today for the Astros is the young right-hander Jared Kozar, who is 7-11 on the season. 4.09 ERA in 31 games started. 195.2 innings. Not the most solid season you could ask from your top starter. Making his way to the dish now, batting .271 with 6 home runs, 39 RBIs, and 37 stolen bases, which is third in the National League, is the left fielder, Eric Young Jr., EYJ. 1-2 count on EYJ here. Here comes the kick. And the pitch from Jared Kozar. And EYJ is going to slap this one right in front of Chris Carter in left field. He's going to get this one in the cutoff man as EYJ is going to be held to a base hit, leading things off. Next up in the inning is the hot bat of Daniel Murphy, the second baseman. 1-0 count on him. Here's the pitch from Kozar as Daniel Murphy gives this one a ride into right center field. That one's going to rattle up against the wall as Springer is going to collect this one, fire into the cutoff man, and that's going to be runners on second and third here for the New York Mets to start things off. Next batter up in the inning is the third baseman, David Wright. 0-2 count on him here. Here comes the pitch from Kozar as that runs inside and pelts David Wright in the arm. So that's going to load the bases here for the Mets. Grandy Man up at the plate now. 0-0 count on him in the cleanup spot. Kozar getting set. Here comes the pitch as he's going to ground this one to Kendrys Morales at first. Turns to second. Gets one out, but they are not able to double him up at first. As now they get runners on the corners as a run crosses the plate to make this a 1-0 Mets lead. So runners on the corners, 1-2 count here for Kirk Neuenhuis. Here comes the pitch, as this is going to be grounded to Correa at short as he just flips over to Altuve, and that ends the inning here in the bottom of the first. Very action-packed bottom of the first inning as the Mets come across for 2 hits, 1 run, as it is now a 1-0 New York Mets ballgame. Leading things off in the top of the second inning is the big bat of Chris Carter. Here comes the pitch from Wheeler. As Carter lines this one in the left center gap, as that one's going to get in between Young and Neuenhuis. That one's going to rattle up against the wall as Carter going to slide into second, looking to avoid the tag with the throws offline. That's a double for Chris Carter, but there's an injury on the play. The trainer's been called up from the dugout, and he has been examining the finger of Chris Carter, and X-ray will be needed to determine if it's just a bruise or if a finger could be broken, as Carter will need to be removed from the ballgame. Not very good news here for the Astros, as already they're without their big bat of Chris Carter. Coming in to pinch run and play left field in the ballgame now is the ragtag utility man, LJ Hose. So 1 out in the inning now. Hose still on second. Todd Frazier at the plate now. 0-1 count on him as he gives one a ride into deep left field. That one's back to the track, but it is unfortunately only to the track. And that one was hit into left field as Hose is not going to be able to tag up on the play. Runner still on second with 2 outs. 2 outs in the inning. 2-2 count here on shortstop Carlos Correa. Runner still on second. Here comes the pitch from Wheeler, as that's going to be a slider as Correa cuts through that one. Wheeler's going to get out of this inning with a strikeout, not allowing any runs, as it is still a 1-0 New York Mets lead in this one. 0-1 count here on Daniel Murphy in the bottom of the third inning. Here comes the kick. And the pitch from Cozart as Murphy lines this one in the left center gap in between Hose and Fowler. Hose is going to track this one down to the wall. He fires into the cutoff man, but not before Daniel Murphy gets himself a stand-up double here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs in the inning now. 0-1 count here on Curtis Granderson. Cozart getting set. He deals. As Granderson just grounds this one to the second baseman Altuve. He fires the Morales at first, as that is going to get the Astros out of this bottom of the third inning. Not allowing any runs, it is still a 1-0 New York Mets lead. 3 hits for the Mets, 1 for the Astros. 2-2 count here on Ike Davis, bottom of the fourth inning. The kick. And the pitch from Cozart, as this one's going to be given a ride into deep left field. That one's going to be over the head of LJ Hose, right up against the wall. Hose gets this one into the cutoff man rather quickly, but not before Ike Davis gets himself a stand-up double here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Next batter up in the inning is the catcher, Travis D'Arnaud, the ex-Lakewood Blue Claws teammate of Jared Cozart, the man on the mound. As he rips this one for a base hit in front of George Springer and right, he comes up lobbing this one into the cutoff man. You gotta be coming up firing as that, as you are trying to get the man out of home plate to prevent the run. As D'Arnaud gets the RBI base hit to make this a 2-0 Mets lead here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 out in the inning still. D'Arnaud on first. 0-0 count here. Here comes the pitch from Cozart as he lines this one right in front of Fowler in center field. That was first and second in the inning for the New York Mets. Cozart's got a 1-0 count here against the opposing pitcher, Zach Wheeler, as he lays down a bunt. As Todd Frazier's going to be charged in this one. Fire over to first, as that is 2 outs in the inning with runners on second and third now. And Bo Porter's going to come out to the mound now, as that's going to signal the end of the day for the young right-hander and Jared Cozart. Not the best of starts from him. He hasn't had the best of seasons, really. They were expecting a lot more big things from him this season. But really, Oberholzer and just the underrated guys were more of an impact than him. But now coming in the ballgame is the young right-hander, the prospect Trevor Bauer, who has appeared in 3 games, 1-0 record with a 0.00 ERA. Only pitched 1 solid inning, as he did get that ball to the head against the Texas Rangers earlier in the season. So now UAJ at the plate. 1-0 count on him as Bauer gets him. He just chopped this one to second baseman Jose Altuve as he fires the first to end the inning. As they're able to get out of this one without allowing any more runs, as that is now a 2-0 New York Mets lead. 6 hits for the Mets, 1 for the Astros. Third baseman Todd Frazier at the plate now for the Astros. 1-2 count on him with 1 out in the inning. Wheeler gets set. He deals. And that's going to be given a ride into deep center field. But Neuenhuis is able to camp under that one at the wall. As that bat basically sums up the Astros' hitting experience today. Bottom of the fifth, Trevor Bauer still on the mound. 2-2 count here on Daniel Murphy. Here comes the pitch from Bauer as he gets Murphy to swing through the splitter on that one. They throw that one around. Trevor Bauer strikes out the hot bat of Daniel Murphy. Full count here, 2 outs in the inning on the Grandy man, as he's basically going to have a bunt effect on that one. Bauer's going to feel this one himself, but he isn't able to get the rather speedy Grandy man out at first. 0-1 count here on Ike Davis as Grandy man's taken off for second, and the throw from Heineman's not in time, as that was a changeup from Bauer. 1-2 count on Ike Davis now. Here comes the pitch from Bauer as he swings through the inside fastball. That's going to be the end of the inning here for the Astros on the strikeout by Ike Davis. Still a 2-0 Mets lead. Only 1 hit for the Astros and 7 for the New York Mets. Coming in the pinch hit for Trevor Bauer now in the top of the 6th inning is the highly touted prospect at first base, John Singleton. As here, Wheeler still on the mound, Singleton at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Wheeler as Singleton gives this one a ride into deep right field. That's back to the wall, and that is only to the wall as Granderson is able to corral that one in. Singleton gets robbed of an extra base hit, possibly a home run if they could have carried a bit more. Altuve up now in the inning. Here comes the pitch from Wheeler as Altuve gives this one a ride in a deep left field. EYJ is going to be there, though, as he camps into that one. And that's going to be the end of the top of the 6th inning here, as Wheeler is going to have another scoreless inning. 1 hit for the Astros still, 7 for the Mets, and 2-0 New York Mets lead once again. Coming into pitch now for the Astros is the left-hander Rudy Owens. 10 games appeared, to a record with a .63 ERA since being called up. Zach Wheeler on the dish now for the Mets. As he grounds out to Todd Frazier at first, he fires over to first. The scoop from Morales, as that's the end of the inning here for the Astros. Rudy Owens comes in and pitches a scoreless inning here for the Astros, but it is still a 2-0 Mets lead and only 1 hit for the Astros, and they cannot win a ball game without hits. 1 out in the inning as Kendrys Morales at the plate for the Astros. I will count on him as Wheeler pitches, and he lines this one into center field for a base hit as the 2nd hit of the ball game for the Houston Astros. Next batter up in the inning is the speedy Juan Pierre as he lays down a bunt. And Wheeler's going to field this one himself, fire to second, get Morales out at second, but he's not able to double up the speedy Juan Pierre at first. Coming in a pinch hit for George Springer now is Dustin Ackley, the utility man, the ex-College World Series star. He's batting .201 this season with 1 home run and 14 RBIs, just over the Mendoza line. Pierre's on first. Wheeler sets and deals as Pierre takes off for second, and he slides to avoid the tag as he slides in for safe. Second base, that is the 37th stolen base in the season for Juan Pierre, as he now takes the lead in the AL for stolen bases. 0-1 count now on Dustin Ackley. Pierre on second. Wheeler sets and he deals, and this one's going to be lined in front of the center fielder as Juan Pierre rounds third, heads home. He heads in standing up as that is finally a run on the scoreboard for the Houston Astros. Bobby Parnell facing Kendrys Morales here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, looking for the save as he deals, and Morales lines this one into center field, and the diving Juan Lagares catches that to end the ball game here for the New York Mets as they come away with this one, beating the Houston Astros 2-1 here at Citi Field. And this was a huge ball game for the Houston Astros as they entered this one as a 3-way tie with the Angels and the Red Sox for the wild card. So now that the Astros have lost their ball game, they need at least one of the other teams to lose their ball game so they can at least play in a 1-game wild card to see who is going to advance to play the Oakland Athletics in the MLB playoffs. So now all the Houston Astros can do is sit around and wait to see what their destiny is going to be here in the 2014 season. But with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here at this ball game. And also, don't forget to keep checking your Houston Astros network, as we are going to be giving you constant updates on the ball games to see where the Houston Astros are going to place this season. Good evening, Astros fans, and yes, I said Astros fans because everyone's on the bandwagon now, as the Houston Astros are going to be playing their interdivision rivals in the Los Angeles Angels in a 1-game playoff to see who moves on to face the other interdivision rival of the Oakland Athletics in the first round of the playoffs. You thought Game 162 earlier today against the Mets was a big game for the Astros. This 1-game playoff against the Los Angeles Angels is going to be one of the biggest ever games for the Houston Astros franchise. I am absolutely pumped for this one, and I hope you all are too, as Houston Astros baseball is going to be playing for a chance to be in the MLB playoffs. And with that being said, it's going to wrap things up here in the studio. Don't forget to tune in next time, as we are going to be covering this game between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Angels.